Today on She Is, Krassi Varbanov shares how her creative outlet helps her balance career, motherhood, and a blog. Krassi Varbanov is a print and digital production manager at a publishing firm, mother, blogger, and an artist by heart. As a working mom, she missed spending time with her daughter and had the need to preserve and document her creative journey. That was the reason she founded her blog, imagibeans.com. She refers to it as a playground, and as such, she's using it as a creative outlet in her busy life. Hi guys, Lucia Dragos here from FabSingleMom.com. Welcome to the show. I have with me today my guest Krassi. Krassi, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Lucia.
Now I know you for a long time before we became moms, and I remember at that time we used to go out, and I have a lot of friends from the entertainment business, so I'll try to go and support them in whatever they were doing. After I became mom, I don't have that time. Is it the same with you? And how important is for you networking and socializing? And how do you find time to do it?
Yes, balancing is actually a big question for every mom, I'm assuming. And I find myself trying to choose and pick the work events I'm going to, and the drinking after work, and the lunches, and everything work related. It's been a while since I don't really attend all of this anymore. So that's one way I'm trying to just balance my time with my daughter at home, my time for my family, and also staying on top of my career as far as I can. Because networking, as you said, it's really important. You know, good relationships with your colleagues and your coworkers, and also very important, I feel, for me at least, is a good relationship with the employer, because I feel lucky to have one, so a good relationship, and I'm able to work from home whenever I can or need. So that really helps sometimes.
So was there any time after you became mom that you had to talk to your employer, you needed more flexibility, or because that's a problem for me? It's May and I already used 6 sick days and I don't know what to do for the rest of the year. And I'm thinking I have to at some point talk to my employer, maybe I can start working from home some days. How did you achieve that? Did you have to talk to him?
Yes, I actually had to speak with him a couple of times, and I feel each company is different. They allow to a certain extent this flexibility, especially with moms, but it helps the trust between you. It helps, and also I feel I've done it a couple of times when my daughter was sick. I needed half of the day, and the rest I'm working from home, or taking a whole day because I needed to be in a school event. So we really need this time for our children. It's really important, and no one else would understand us better than another mom.
Right. We're both working moms, and you're a full-time working mom, I'm a full-time working mom. And especially for me, evenings are the time that I want to scream. You know, it's preparing the lunch for the next day, the homework, lunch for me. And by 9 p.m. I'm exhausted and I have to start working on my blog or editing the show. What is the time of the day that you want to pull your hair, and how do you find a way to unload that pressure? Or do you have some outlet that you do that with?
The evenings, I count so much on the evenings, really. This time at the evening, when she's already in bed, I already, prepared everything for the next day. I thought what I should, prepare for lunch for her snacks and everything. I have all my schedule for the day and the week, so and now I can have a beer, or I could actually sit and do some things for myself. And the things that I'm doing for myself are first I'm trying to kind of restrict the distractions, which are really not, then I feel they wasted my time. So it's, for me, I founded this different outlet, as you call it, for venting out, and something that would fulfill me and make me feel good, and kind of satisfy my need for play as well. This is why, you know, if you can't do this so often, you can just find your hobby or something that takes out your, you know, and expose your creativity, and just for yourself.
And what is it for you?
For me, I started a blog, which you know about. It's a blog which is completely inspired by the imagination of my daughter. I find her really unusual way of connecting things, and imagining her storytelling really inspiring for me. So I kind of found a lot of inspiration to start the blog, and then I have been working on this little slowly but surely, to just you know, express myself, and you know, find some fun to do.
Coming up next, not to kill their creativity.
Yes, yeah, I agree with you. It does kill their creativity if you judge them or put kind of a grade on their, oh, this is good, and or their result.
Now you mentioned the blog, and you kind of started for yourself, but also you're documenting your daughter's journey, how she expresses herself. As an adult, we always strive to find our inner voice. Do you think children already have that and we lose it somewhere along the way?
I like the way you called it journey, because it is really a journey. We follow all our life. And I don't think they have their voice, but just it's so important to, and so inspiring for us to actually witness the way they search for their voice. And I feel as a mom, my obligation, and I feel very strongly about encouraging her to actually find her voice. And especially in these very early years, when they need to express themselves, to feel confident, and to actually, and I think this is very much through creativity. Just encouraging creativity is something that we can do for them to help them not only find their own voice, but just pretty much assure they would have a good, confident life as human beings. Because creativity is everywhere. It's in building, it's in every kind of decision we make. Just thinking outside of the box is a creative way of looking at the world. Just don't follow and don't be so restricted by the things that, you know, we live in so many rules that we created for ourselves. So just be able to have the confidence to actually try out things, you know, connect things differently, will definitely help them. And I'm trying to totally encourage this as much as I can.
And how do you do that? Are you always with her?
I try to stay conscious about the way, about my involvement in her play, because I feel the play is really so important for kids, especially unstructured play, and play that they can just imagine and do whatever they want and follow their interests and passions. Because when they do this, it's their way to be creative. It's their way to explore, to mimic our adult, you know, life and the world they see around, to make sense of it, and to actually find themselves, as you call it, find their voice. So, in other words, to your question, I'm trying not to be as much involved. If she wants me, of course I'm there, but pretty much I'm trying to facilitate her interests and to flow with her imagination and just to ride on it rather than control and be on top of it. Because I know how, and I've been experiencing how, you know, tempting is to say, oh, this is not very good, but try this way. You know, we may want to just like direct them, but never try to overwhelm over their free play, because dramatic play, building with blocks, any kind of activity they do is amazingly creative, and they need to make their own decisions and take their time to take the risks, to make their mistakes. You know, it's really important. Not judge them and just try to
Not to kill their creativity.
Yes, yeah, I agree with you. It does kill their creativity if you judge them or put kind of a grades on their, oh, this is good, and or their result. Pretty much just grade the result of their process. Because in creativity, the process is really what matters. It's not the outcome, really.
My son likes building with Legos, constructing things. He's not into drawing, painting. Do you think that's a boy and a girl thing?
I think it's a common idea that creativity is mostly related with the arts, which is not necessarily right, because in building, for instance, as I know your son, how good is he really, he's pretty much applying his sense of spatial relationships. He's applying his sense of balance, of calculating where to put things and how to put them so the structure doesn't fall out. So it's really important. These are really, I think, important qualities that he's building through building with blocks. And my daughter, for instance, is more into dramatic play, and I find this important as well, because this is how they code and they make sense of of our world. They mimic it and, you know, pretty much just tell stories through their play. So any kind of time and interest they can have, I think it's important for us to facilitate this this process, and in order to provide more materials. And you can, you know, it's actually, the possibilities are endless. You can, you know, in the sensory field, you know, from clay, Play-Doh, to cornstarch and shaving cream, and building blocks and dramatic play, and all like play with the natural materials and dirt and digging for worms. All of this is so exciting for them. It's really teaches them so many things, and they're making connections. And because they're not really very much kind of charged with our perceptions of things, they could actually make their own connections and use their imagination. So this is all creativity, and it's not really about drawing or painting necessarily. It's just about exposing them to all different variety of activities that they could flourish in. What I'm trying as a mom to do is just to give her the Lego over there. She's not so much into building, but the Lego is there. So if she feels like it's there, I'm providing it. So she has a space for drawing, she has a space for building, she has a space for her unusual use of materials. It's a lot of fun to observe them and to see how they actually create the connections we need to have for the adulthood. And this is why I was so inspired by my blog. It's really all about the connection she makes, the words she says, the storytelling, the things that she reads, we read together, and what ideas inspired in her. So it's been a pleasure, and I feel we all have a lot to learn from kids.
Before we end, complete the sentence referring to yourself. She is?
Oh, that's really a difficult question.
That is a difficult question. Well, I think you are a creative angel.
I'm trying to be, for my family and daughter specifically. Thank you, Lucia.
Oh, you're very welcome. Krassi, thank you so much for joining me. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you. It was a pleasure for me.
If you want to know more about Krassi, go to her blog at imagibeans.com, and also while there, see how she finds ways to guide her daughter through her creative journey. Now I want to hear from you. Use the area below for your comments, and if you like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel and share it with your friends. I'm Lucia Drago. See you next time on She Is.